You know, there is one secret about self growth no one really talks about. The thing about self growth is that it's not very loud, it is as quiet as a whisper. The most important thing about it is that you need to learn how to listen to that whisper. That whisper can come off in many ways. People around you who inspire you, your parents, the music, your role models, anybody. Or it can be as simple as one character you felt like you related to, the one character you saw on a screen, or one character you read about in a book and you thought, wait, that is me. I am literally them. Oh my god. And you just feel like you connected to them on a heart to heart level. But you feel like they are the much more better versions of yourselves because those characters are the aspirations that you have built for yourself. The future you that you want to become, but you don't really have the guts or you don't really know what to do about it. That is the effect of a good book on us. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, The Navya Studios. If you're somebody like me who feels lost at times and whenever they have a lot of questions, they're not satisfied with the same old ChatGPT answers which just feel like repetitive all over again, or Claude answers as a matter of fact. If you're like me, you need in-depth of answers. You need every perspective of a question that is there in your head. Here are some 5 books that will completely blow your mind and change your life for the good. The first book that I'm going to recommend today is a memoir by Michelle Obama, Becoming. Yes, it's a book about the life and the behind the scenes chapters of Michelle Obama, the former First Lady of America. Now, again, the same thought must be coming into your head just like I did. A memoir, seriously, boring, and I'm not interested into politics, America, blah, blah, blah. Trust me, it's just not about that. The most inspiring thing about Michelle Obama has always been her personality. Like there's a famous quote about her. Like if you know, an interviewer once asked her like, what would have happened if you were not married to Barack Obama? You know what she replied? She said, if I would not have been married to Barack Obama, somebody else would have been the president of America. You see, that takes a self-assurance, self-confidence in a person to actually have that mindset. And Becoming is all about that. Becoming is about her life, her journey as to how did she become such confident, bold woman. She was not like this ever since a kid, but over the life, over a few chapters, over her academic years, her struggle made her that. Once you read her book, you will actually realize that she is not just a glamorous personality. She started with a simple life, with a simple and humble background, just like you and me. Maybe she had it even worse because America was going through some tough time doing that. But it's a book which will genuinely teach you how to actually become self-assured, how to never ever lose your purpose in life, your ambition in life, just because you found your love. I have friends who literally lose their whole personalities because they get a boyfriend. Michelle Obama is the one who has never lost herself because she was married to Barack Obama. And I would personally recommend this one because this was the first and the only memoir I have read. But the most important and beautiful thing that I found about the memoir is the writing. It is so simple. It genuinely feels like you're having a conversation with Michelle Obama. And she's such an intriguing lady. Once you read the book, you will realize, oh, this is me. Michelle Obama, I can relate to you on so many levels. Once you read it, this is what I believe. If Michelle Obama can do it, you can do it as well. All you have to do is just be bold enough to ask what you feel like you deserve. Be confident. So yeah, I will definitely recommend reading Becoming by Michelle Obama. If you're thinking this is just another video recommending self-help books, trust me, it's not. Because the second book that I'm recommending is a novel. It's called Big Little Lies by Liane Moriarty. There is an Amazon video show about it as well, but I've not really seen the show, so I cannot help it. But I read the book, and the most intriguing part about the book was not the characters. I mean, of course, it was the characters, but the realization of the difference. I mean, in today's world of social media, we keep on forgetting about the life that we project to others as a versus the projected life that we do not live, our actual life, our real life. And you will reading the book, it made me realize how we all play a mask, like how we all are actors. We play a character when we go out of our houses, like the moment we step out of the door, we have a role to play. It was a very interesting book for me. So the book revolves around different 5 to 6 ladies living different lives, like completely opposite to each other in personality and social hierarchy status. But how does this all come together in one story, and how do they actually end up saving each other, saving their lives, and developing the kind of friendships that they all individually craved, but nobody really knew that they want that in their life. It was something so beautiful. This book personally stayed with me because I realized we often forget, like when we are judging somebody, we feel like, oh my god, they are such a mean person, and oh my god, all they do is gossip. I mean, there are some people who always gossip, but once you sit down with that thought, you will realize there's a reason they're gossiping. It's because they don't have that self confidence in themselves. Or if a person is a loner, if they don't want to talk to anybody else, there's a reason they're not talking to anybody else. Maybe they have decided to, become antisocial, not talk to anybody because they're scared, or maybe because they're scared they're new in the town. Reading that book gave me such a different perspective about how I actually judge people. Because me being me, I'm this quick in judging everybody. Like their outfits, their body language, it's a shortcoming I tend to have. But book gave me such a good perspective, and it's a thriller, by the way. It's not a rom-com, it's not a comedy, and it's not just a boring book, it's a thriller. And I will 100% recommend you to read it because it will actually help you develop an empathy towards humankind, and not in a philosophical way, more in a way that I understand everybody is a human at the end of the day. Third book is a very recent book that I read when I was in a clinic last week. It's called Focus on What Matters by David Foroux. And it's a very simple book. Like it's a self-help book, and it's very simple. It's very non-fictional, but the quotes in it just hit hard. It speaks to your soul when you need them the most. And trust me, this was a book I genuinely did not know that I wanted to read, or I was looking for it. It found me, and this book is one of those kinds which genuinely find you when you are lost. The quotes, the chapters about it, oh my god. This book genuinely tells you that sometimes, transforming, evolving as a personality, evolving as yourself, does not mean you have to have a huge transformations. Your life grows, you grow very slowly. It can be as simple as changing a habit. Like today you usually wake up at 7 o'clock, and tomorrow you decide to wake up at 6:30. Waking up half an hour earlier than you actually used to might not seem like a big thing, but over the period of time, you will be glad that you actually took that step for yourself and actually took care of yourself. That book actually taught me that whatever is happening, like social media, friends, girlfriends, external validation, we all crave external validation. The most important takeaway for me was that stop chasing external validation. It's your life. You matter the most in the world. What you think matters. What you do matters. The opinions of only your loved one matters. Rest, everything else is just noise. So that is something I would definitely recommend. This book is my personal favorite. I came across this last year. It's called What You're Looking For Is in a Library. I've always been amused by bookstores, libraries, and the whole concept of a Japanese book being being actually dedicated to a library, a cozy library. Oh my god. Oh my god. I cannot actually tell you how much I actually devoured it. The book setting, there may be a few problems to some people who obviously do not appreciate weight, talking about weight, calling somebody fat. Those issues are there, but once you go beyond that, you will realize it feels like a hug. This book is so comforting, so beautiful. It genuinely feels like somebody's giving you a hug. It is an amalgamation of four different short stories, and every story is very different to one another. One story is about how you feel, how a girl who feels like she's not getting promoted and like there's no growth in her life. One story is about a person who is retired and doesn't know what to do with their life. Third story is something about a person who just graduated from college, does not have a job, don't know what do they actually want to do. So there are four different stories, very different from each other. But when you read it, you actually feel like they're talking about you and me. And the way this book deals with the problems and the solutions that they, not the solutions, the perspective that they give you. Wow. Honestly, it has become one of my comfort reads, and I know for sure that if I'm going through something, I will pick that book. I will pick it up because I know that book will be there for me. And it's just so beautiful. Honestly, I cannot stress enough about how beautiful that book is, and everybody should read it at least once to see what a good book actually feels like, you know. I personally feel a book should not feel like a book, you know. It feels like you are being transported into another world. It should feel like you are a character into somebody else's world, you know, being invisible yet getting to observe everything that is happening. That book is one of them for sure. Now, this next book is something I stumbled upon when I was looking for actually how to, you know, develop my communication skills. I have always been bothered by the fact that how do some people actually, when they enter a room, they instantly get everybody's attention, like, oh my god, everybody's suddenly talking about them, suddenly talking to them. And even though they might be the most horrible person you can ever have in your life, people's perception is totally different. Like, they will actually listen to you but might not agree because they feel like that person is the most angelic person they can have in their life. That, like, for me, I always get awkward about short conversations like, what am I talking about? How are you? Okay, good. What is happening? All good. That is it. That's all the conversation I can have. So this book is that I wanted to read about, and it changed my perception actually. I mean, when I read it, I got to know how do this happen. Like, it has so many tricks. Like, if I tell you one thing about being a charismatic person is you have to make yourself important. When you're having a conversation, you don't have to, you know, act or feel like you need to gain somebody's attention. Let people gain your attention. I mean, come on, you're beautiful, you're bold, you're confident, you're educated. Let people gain your attention. Let people impress you. And once they realize that they have actually impressed you, they will feel happy. All you have to do is just appreciate them, listen to their stories well enough, and ask questions based on their stories. You know, and voila, people might actually like you. So I still haven't really completely finished reading that book, but I'm almost done, and I felt like I should actually recommend it because if you're like me, who are very confused about how the world actually works, how people actually work, this is definitely a good read for you. So ultimately, going through this video, I realized something, and it's just we are all in the journey of becoming somebody, of becoming something we have always dreamt of. We are not there yet. We don't have all the answers, and we're definitely not the person that we used to be a year ago or 5 years ago. But we feel a lot of times we feel a lot confused. We want to express our emotions, but we don't know how to express them. A good book actually understands you. It helps you become knowledgeable, it helps you become educated, but it also helps you navigate your path into this journey of becoming the best version of yourself. And if you're like me, and if you do get lost sometimes, I will always recommend going towards a book. If you're having a bad day, nobody will understand you more than a good book. It can actually feel like a hug, to be honest. And if you're somebody who feels like they don't have best friends in their life, somebody will never listen to them, a good book will always be there for you. Trust me, guys, I know. Growing up, nobody has been there for me except my books, and I'm super, super, super grateful to my mother. Shout out to you for getting me into reading, because reading books is literally 80% of my personality, and I never feel like I'm alone, all thanks to my books. So yeah, I will definitely recommend these 5 books that we've talked about in it today. And if you've read any of the above mentioned books, please do leave a comment down and let me know how did this book particularly change your life, and what is something that you actually loved or hated about the book. And we can have a good conversation about it. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, bye everybody. Stay beautiful, stay bold, stay you.